So good morning and welcome to Da Nang. It's the day after Boxing Day. We got here day before Christmas Eve. Weather then, the first 2 days have been glorious. Christmas Day, it poured down with rain, and Boxing Day was a bit rainy. It's dried off a bit today, so it's our fourth day. But just wanted to give you a bit of an overview of Da Nang, and also there's some comments about Vietnam more broadly. Now I've been travelling for about 5 weeks. There's lots of things I wish I'd known that I know now, which I wish I'd known before we left. So thought I'd do this video, show you around Da Nang, and just make some comments around Da Nang and Vietnam more broadly. So this is Da Nang Beach. Behind me is the way towards Hoi An and the south of the country. And this way, the other way down the beach, is up towards Hue, where we just come from. So the beach is really nice. It's a bit overcast, but it's still pretty busy. There's beach bars dotted all the way along, which is quite nice. And having come from the countryside and Ninh Bình and places like that, it's quite nice to come somewhere pretty lively. Behind the hotels, you can see behind me, there are multiple bars, restaurants, pubs. The nightlife is pretty buzzy. More on that in a bit. Yeah, it's actually okay. So on Christmas Day, we had lunch right over there, which was the Intercontinental Da Nang. It was fantastic. It was absolutely stunning. They do a buffet brunch every day in one of the restaurants called Citron. If you're staying here and get a chance to visit, don't miss it. It was really, really good. And the Christmas Day was even more special. It was just fantastic. I'll put a little video up in a while around that, but it was just a fantastic experience. So behind me is our hotel, the TMS, just this building here, the TMS Hotel Da Nang, which is a 5-star hotel. It cost us £50 a night, bed and breakfast over Christmas, which is phenomenal. The hotel's really nice. We've got a rooftop swimming pool, bar, breakfast area, spa, etc., etc. But, and here is the biggest issue with everywhere we've been in Vietnam so far, building. Next to it is a building site. To the right is a building site. Behind it is a building site. Most of Da Nang, every 2 or 3 buildings is a building site. Construction here has ramped up apparently rapidly over the last 4 or 5 months. It's the same almost everywhere we've been. Ha Long Bay was just a continual building site. Dong Hoi, opposite us, was just a construction site the whole way. In Ninh Bình, the actual hotel was still half being constructed when we were there. It's a huge, huge thing here, and you just need to be aware of it when you get here, because you can't really legislate for it, because this stuff starts so quickly, and before you know it, what you think is a peaceful hotel is being built up next to. And whilst we've been lucky, we've got a very high floor, it hasn't affected us massively. The continual noise of drilling and construction starting at 8 in the morning till 6, 7 at night, every day, including Christmas Day, Boxing Day, is something you need to consider. And so far, everywhere, with the exception of Hue, has been like this. So yeah, it's something that has put me off Vietnam a bit, and I'm hoping that as we travel further down, it does improve. And this is the road behind our hotel. Again, it's just a massive construction site. We haven't just been unlucky here. This is most of the way down the seafront road is building site after building site, drilling, banging, etc., etc. It's pretty full on. But whilst there is construction, it's not all bad. There's some fantastic beach bars. You can see there which we've been in. It's about £2 a beer, which is pretty good. $2.50. It's pretty decent. Food's pretty good. A lot of Western food here. less Vietnamese food, but there's plenty of Vietnamese food around if you want to look for it. But we have, because we've been eating a lot of rice and noodles, we have indulged a bit in things like pizzas and burgers here, which has been quite nice and made a nice change. And as I say, the food for Christmas Day was just a spectacular buffet: seafood, lobster, oysters, etc. So that was really, really good. So the second thing that I wish I'd known before I got here relates to traffic, but it isn't traffic. I did a previous video on the traffic here. And it's not as bad here in Da Nang as it is in places like Hanoi. But the traffic and the building brings us to my second issue, which is the air quality. The air quality in Da Nang today, and this is halfway down the country, is rated poor by World Health Organization. But that said, I mean, last week in Hanoi, the air quality, lovely horn, the air quality was rated as dangerous. You were actually being discouraged from going outside. So, you know, and I think it was the second, at that point last week, or week before last, it was the second most polluted city in the world. And if you, like me, are slightly asthmatic and have challenges, I've had a cough for the last 5 weeks continuously. Not a chest infection, just a continual hacking cough, just caused by the terrible conditions in the air. And it's just the traffic and the smog and the fumes. You sometimes come out in the morning, go to your balcony, and it's literally just a smog hanging over the city, and it's wherever you're staying. And that, coupled with the damp weather as well, probably just contributes to it. So it hasn't ruined it, but it's just been a factor I wish I'd known. And I'm glad I bought my inhalers, because if I hadn't, I think I might have had some fun and games. There is loads of traffic here, but anyway, not to worry. Well, despite my whinging about the smog and the traffic and the rotten queue, the building, I do quite like Da Nang, and there's things I like about Vietnam as well. Vietnam's a bit up and down, but Da Nang's a pretty good place to come to for a few days. As you can see now, we're off the beaten track onto a road, bit of a side street. It's much quieter, apart from the building. It's quite pretty. The architecture's quite interesting. And there are, around here, lots of little individual quirky bars and restaurants you can go to, a lot of Western food, so sport for choice on that. And if you've been traveling through the countryside, which we have for a few weeks, and you've had a lot of rice and noodles and pho and God knows what, then you're probably ready for some stodgy burgers and pizzas and pasta and steak and shit like that, which we were. So the food's been pretty good. If we really enjoyed that, the nightlife's pretty good. And my plan tonight, all being well, is when we go out, I will try and video a couple of bars, give you a bit of a taste of the nightlife, and me drinking some beer. So let's see how that works out.